Happy Tuesday, everyone. Let me guys know if you have any problems hearing us. We're going to start right away. Have very special guest today. You were from Spokane, right? Washington.
Yes.
Very special guest, expert, one of a kind. If you have any questions today about Google, about SEO, about your website, about marketing in general, I want you to comment your questions. We will be answering them. We have a lot of content coming to Roofing Insights Business School, about 4 hours. So we've been filming content all day long. Pretty much what we did today, guys, is we filmed content for business owners, for your business, about Google My business page, something that you can actually do yourself. But the first question I want to answer and start with is, can you really hire a marketer in-house? I see it as a really big trend, especially with the big companies. I have a couple friends who do 50, 60, $70 million a year, really big scale. They have 2-3 marketers on site, pretty much in-house. Obviously, if you're a smaller company, you're probably outsourcing, and there's a big debate. Can you be all service to all people? Can you be master of all trades? Can you have a marketer in-house? I see more and more companies looking into that because marketing is so expensive. I see guys paying $5,000-$6,000 to some agencies. That's a cost of employee right there. It's a salary. Yep. So if you're already paying $5,000 a month, that's $60,000 a year salary. You might as well be doing it yourself. So you call yourself Dima, but we have the same name. My mom would call me Dima. Why Dima? Why not Dmitry?
Well, I guess I'm more simple than you.
Simple? It's nothing to do with the simple. It's a spelling. So do you go by Dmitry at all?
Yeah, I actually used to be a Dmitry for a long time, just because it's more, I guess, common.
Okay.
So I would introduce myself as Dmitry until one time, my friend who is a pastor, he announced me for the whole church as Dima. And that was the last day anyone called me Dmitry.
I see.
So I became Dima, and I like it because that's my home name, and Dmitry is a little bit more official for me. So I got into like that name much more for Americans. And yeah, call me Dima.
All right. So you've been on the marketing side for how long now?
Marketing. I've been in marketing for over 5 years.
Okay.
5 years. I've been doing a lot of other things too, and dental being one of them, actually.
Okay.
I'm actually a trained dental lab technician.
Oh, wow.
I do dentures.
Awesome.
So if anyone is tired of brushing their teeth and needs marketing, I'm your guy.
So I overheard Dmitry Dima talking today about marketing. I was mesmerized myself, to be honest with you, because this guy really knows SEO, how to do it yourself. You're talking about 4 hours of content. Is it possible, like, what's the learning curve to someone who've never dealt with a Google page? I feel like a lot of roofers just afraid to start, afraid to touch, afraid to even think about it. It just overwhelms us. We're like, yeah. I'm a roofer, I'm not a marketer, I'm not gonna even try. Let's talk about it. What's the learning curve of someone brand new to marketing to start looking into that?
As an owner?
As an owner, or maybe if you work in the business, like partner of the owner. It doesn't have to be the owner. Someone in the company who can help with the marketing.
Yeah. Well, there are different models out there, right? There's a model of outsourcing, and that's been there for many, many years. There's a model of doing it all by yourself. I guess the question is, what's the real need, right? What's the real priority? And
well, everybody wants to be on the first page of Google. That's the ultimate goal. Everybody wants the leads. How long does it take someone to start recognizing pattern and algorithm and making good enough damage to start crawling your website over there?
In roofing, generally, I would say somewhere from 6 months to about maybe in some cases year and a half. Usually, you're going to have a pretty noticeable result right away. With any SEO, you're going to see a result fairly soon. But for you to get to the front page, depends on your location, depends on your competition, depends if the people who you're competing with, they know what they're doing. So, but in general, I think 1 year is a good number, just in general.
1 year?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what marketers tell you. Marketers will tell you, start paying me $2,000-3,000 right now, and a year from now, hopefully, you will see some results. Guys, comment below. I want to know how much you're spending on marketing, how much you investing in Google. I don't care if it's Google pay-per-click, if it's organic, all your combined cost of website, Google pay-per-click, and Google Analytics. SEO, anything Google, how much and anything your website you would say you're spending per year or per month. Comment below. I want to hear from you. Go ahead.
Here's a thought that I had. Bitcoin is kind of popular right now, right?
Yep.
And Bitcoin is one way to make some money, right? It's one way to put the money in. And if you're lucky, you're going to get a lot of revenue return. There's a different way you can invest into Tesla, right? Something that's growing over time, something that's more stable, something that's more consistent. So with working with marketers, sometimes it does feel like Bitcoin, right? You don't know. You're investing, and you see maybe it's going to bring a ton of return, and maybe it's you're going to waste everything. It's going to burn. What I think is a more strategic way when it comes to marketing is to approach it as investing into Tesla stock, where you are investing into something that's long term, something that is not going to just flip on you, and that it would necessarily involve your own involvement, because you aren't going to be investing in your own business. You're going to be investing into something that's going to be there for years to come, no matter if the marketer is here today or gone tomorrow. So my long-term advice for any roofing company is to invest into your own in-house marketing strategies. Become fluent in digital marketing.
Well, my favorite quote about marketing Google, and I actually want to read this Justin a question or statement. Seems like a gamble because nothing guaranteed. So here's my answer to Justin. And in general, I have this quote that describes modern marketing, especially Google. Someone said that half of my money spent on marketing is wasted. The problem is I don't know which half. So let's say you hire first website guy and he kind of didn't take you anywhere. Then you hire another one, and then maybe another one. So maybe you've dealt with the 3 website guys, and let's say you spent $4,000 each. So it's $12,000. But if you actually calculate your return on investment, maybe you lost money on the first 2 deals, maybe first 8,000, were wasted, or half of your 12,000 wasted. So you wasted $6,000, but now you're actually other 6,000 work, and now you're actually getting somewhere. I agree with you. Nothing is guaranteed. And the reason is you have to outsmart your competition. You have to keep trying to figure out. I firmly believe that hungriest kid always wins. It's your execution. I mean, think about this. You have 3,000 roofing companies. There's only 10 of them on the first page of Google. Right. Whoever will figure out how to get there. And it's not always the good thing about Google, and you correct me if I'm wrong, it's not just pay to play. I think you can outsmart Google. I know I've done it because over the years, when I started creating YouTube videos, I found that my niche, like if I make one YouTube video, because I could not afford to spend tons of money on Google or radio ads, but I figured if I make one YouTube video, maybe I make 20, but if one of them will land on the first page of Google and will be served to them as a research. I actually was asking myself when I would Google something, and my kids now, they're millennials, they Google everything. They Google and YouTube answer to any, like wherever the question is, they go Google it, YouTube it, right? So I was thinking, how come I Google something, I ask Google a question, and I always have article by hospital, by other business, like I want to be that business who provide that answer, and maybe people will do business with me. And I figured it out. You can too. So you can figure it out if you're hungry enough, because that's the future.
Yep. Yeah, it's not going away. We need to acknowledge something. We need to acknowledge the elephant in the room. Google is way too much in charge, way too much in control.
Well, it's 90% of search market.
Yep.
Like 90% of all searches are happening on Google.
Yep. And the problem here is that Google has so much control that it can literally kill hundreds of businesses with one little tweak, with one little update, with one little change. They're going to raise a little bit of price and then a little bit more. And then if your business is so dependent on Google, the pay per click or guaranteed or anything, you need to know that, yeah, it's nice, it's beautiful, it's giving you some money, but that's a short-lived strategy, because at any moment of the day, you can lose it all. And if you don't have a long-term strategy, then you're definitely risking not just your business, you were talking about your future.
But what I think, what people don't understand, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Google is in business of search. Their job is to provide the best search for anyone who is looking for answer right now. I think that's where Google Maps are coming into play. Like, right. I travel a lot. When I go to new place, you go to Dallas, Texas, I don't know what restaurants around my hotel. I go to Google or Google Maps, Apple Maps, and I always look for, rating, stars, and I want to find good hotel. I want to find good restaurants. So Google is in that business. As a matter of fact, people don't know it. Some people don't, but Google pays Apple tons of money to install, to promote their apps by default, Google Maps. So for Google, like, you have to be found in search. Like, for example, we have ice dam season now, and we're actually receiving a lot of calls. My team did not even know it. Years ago, I built a website called Ice Dam Liquidators, and it connects to the same phone number. The reason I did it, because if person in Minnesota or Minneapolis around me would type in ice dam removal, I did not want to serve them with a Storm Group roofing page. I wanted to be relevant to the search. Guess what? Freaking worked.
Yeah.
This year, one day I came in, it's like my receptionist Liz told me, Dmitry, we're getting so many calls, people calling us like, is this Ice Dam Liquidators? They did not even know about that company. I have a new receptionist for like 6 months, so she was not with us last year. So it works because Google was referring to people, all my links, and I have like 4 reviews, so it doesn't matter. It was relevant to their search.
I love to say it that way. Google's love language is precision.
Okay.
There is love languages, different personalities. You might have heard of that. Google's love language is precision. If you're able to be precise with Google, they're going to love you, because Google's main job is very simply to match the best response with the search, most relevant, most exact answer to the search. So if you know this, then everything you're going to be structuring in your business is going to be focused about being a sniper versus being a machine gunner. You're not going to be just shooting everywhere. You're going to focus. You're going to know what your best audience is, what they're typing, and you're going to give Google exactly what it wants so that it can connect you.
Absolutely. I want to answer Austin Brooks. Word of mouth is king. I would say it was true 20 years ago. Not anymore. Here's the thing. What's the last time you have a good conversation with your neighbor? Like true conversation, like, hey, who did your roof and stuff? Yep. We don't have conversation with like, listen, you go with the best friend to the restaurant, you don't ask him anything. You both sit and freaking on your phones all day long, boys and girls. Like, this thing ruins relationships, and you're telling me that word of mouth is still king? No, it's not a king. It's not even... It's like word of mouth does not exist in 2021 because this is disruptor. And when you sit with your best friend, and I recently talked to someone, they said their neighbor Googled, Bob Hoel from Indiana, he said his neighbor Googled or YouTube a local roofing company, and Bob Hoel found it, and he connected with his neighbor roofing company through Google. That's the consumer behavior. So if you think the word mouth is king, it's not a king. It's a slave to the king.
I guess it depends how you define that too, because word of mouth is reviews.
Exactly. Well, they shift word of mouth, shift to search, and there are big giant corporations who are making money on it because word of mouth is king, but it's digital king. Yep. And if you're not serving that king, you're missing out. So
like Amazon, right? the only reason you go and you buy what you buy on Amazon, at least if you're like my wife, is because you trust hundreds of reviews. You trust the pictures, and that's your word of mouth these days. But at the same time, you don't go to the store. You don't sit in your car and you drive. You're willing to wait for a day or 2 or 3 just because it's more comfortable.
Mm-hmm. How does one get in contact with you? I mean, we have phone numbers everywhere. You can go to roofinginsights.com, fill out a form, wherever your inquiry is. If you have a question, I would say through website is easier. Also, Facebook Messenger. I mean, we reply to all comments. I can direct message you. Just let me know how, what do you want to connect about, and we'll schedule a call. I had something here interesting.
While you're talking, I can
Sure.
share a few thoughts that I had, from the class that we recorded. Digital marketing has become more than just a luxury. Digital marketing has become a true part of a business,
Mm-hmm.
and it actually even became bigger than that. It became more than just a department, because nowadays, if you remove yourself from Google, a lot of companies will lose a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you don't put yourself in Google, you're going to lose a lot of business.
True.
So either way, you're going to lose, even if you are on Google but not working on it, or even if you're not on Google and you're not working. Because if you're not, then why is he not there? Or if he is there and he's not performing, why is he not performing? Why are his reviews not good? So digital marketing now is such a big part of any forward-looking business that you have to almost treat it as just like a big department of your company. Just like you have sales manager, just like you have production manager. The time is coming when you will not be able to afford not to have digital marketing manager.
And I firmly believe in that statement, guys, and I feel like it's definitely a trend. Just like you have receptionists, and some people can outsource a receptionist. I don't see it for my businesses, because receptionist is a gatekeeper of your business, captures all the leads, because you know your business better than anyone. I don't believe that there's no third party out there can capture the leads and phone calls and customer service better than some like actual employee in your organization. Now, you can outsource a lot of things. You can outsource graphic design. You can outsource your marketing. The question is real cost and real results. Guys, I deal with over 200 companies per month. Here's the trend I see. What if I tell you that you're spending more money on agency than if you would actually hire someone in-house? I understand outsourcing, graphic design to Fiverr. Like, we do a lot of graphic design for our students, for like $3.99 a month. You can hire us to do graphic design. It makes sense, because graphic designer will cost you $5,000 a month. You can outsource smaller thing that's pennies on the dollars to save money. Now, when it comes to marketing, when you pay someone $5,000 a month, and it's $60,000 a year, you tell me, how are you saving money? You're paying premium price, and you're getting and most of you guys don't know how to make those marketing guys accountable, marketing agencies accounting. Because Here's the deal: if you pay someone $5,000 a month, you can actually ask him, hey, did you work for 8 hours today, or 6 hours, or 4 hours? What if I tell you that most marketers who charge thousands of dollars don't even work 10 hours per month for you? They don't. That's the reality. Would you pay anyone $5,000 a month if you would know for a fact they only work for you, for your business, for 5 hours? I mean, that's a crazy, crazy amount. They charge you more than your lawyer charging you, and they deliver less results, and there's nothing you can do about it. Because they're gonna, blame you for the lack of results, or they're gonna keep playing the game like, oh, okay, give it another year, give it another 6 months. Well, you don't have results. You don't have results. A Google pay-per-click, Esteban says, can get expensive. What's the current
average
average
for roofing? from 30 to $50 per click.
That's cheap. In my experiences, up to 100.
Yeah, sometimes in some markets, probably somewhere in Dallas.
Can someone learn it themselves in-house, Google pay-per-click?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's one of the easiest.
Really?
It's one of the easiest.
That's not what marketers tell you. Marketers tell you it's hard, you're stupid, you cannot, cannot figure it out yourself.
I'll give a shout out to one guy,
okay.
Elias from Dynasty Roofing.
Okay.
Remember him?
No.
I think he is in his 50s.
Okay.
He picked up the course and he learns Google Ads. And he is spending his time trying to understand the terminology,
how much time he's spending per month? Because not many people are willing to do that.
You can ask him, but I'm saying, like, if you want it, you will get it done. If you see this as important, you will find a way. And now it doesn't mean that he is totally sufficient now. So he can do it all. But what that means is, first of all, he can keep those marketers accountable now because he can talk their language.
Sure.
And second, he can really walk next to them and be guided and then actually be able to filter those that don't even know what they're talking about.
Sure.
Like, and then at the end of the day, when he feels like he wants to run it himself, he can just do it. He can train his daughter to do it.
How many Eliases are out there who learn how to do it themselves? How many people, like percentage-wise, out of 100%, how many people will actually put effort in, will not watch Netflix couple nights in a row, but actually will go in and learn, Google and stuff?
Right. Well, it's the question of how many businesses are not willing to risk their future. That's the way to think about it. How many businesses are not willing to give their future of their business to someone else and give it and then hope everything's going to work out? Because again, digital marketing is not a luxury anymore. It's a huge necessity. Are you willing to put at stake and risk something that is critical to your future existence?
And guys, we're talking about 5% of your business. It's not like we're talking about that you have to change career. I feel like a lot of guys are thinking about career change and it overwhelms you and you thinking about throwing towel, like I'm done with this. You're talking about 5% of your business. Just like you have to budget for your labor to install roofs, your labor to, to do office work, you have to budget for marketing. For years, I've been teaching at 5%. So let's say you do $5 million a year. Your marketing budget at 5% is $250,000 a year. Well, guess what? Within that $250,000, you can maybe hire a marketer for $70,000 and spend the rest, what it is, like $180,000 give him budget of $180,000. Say, hey, here's your salary, $70,000, and you have $180,000, if my math is right, as a budget. But I've seen guys spending up to 10% on marketing, up to $500,000, wasting half of it because they're not efficient. They waste a lot of marketing, because when you hire someone, there's always management fees. So your money does not go actually to marketing to generate leads. They go towards companies. And it's crazy too. Sometimes I see roofers hiring agency spend $2,000 on management budget and only $1,000 on actually cost to Google. So someone like Elias, who's doing it himself, he can spend all $3,000 with Google. Even if he's half decent, he's still wasting only $1,500. He still gets more on his return because
he can risk more.
Exactly.
He can learn more. And the more you go and you try the different things, that's how you grow. That's how you learn.
Absolutely. Barry, it can be overcome. Sounds like being in marketing is a good financial decision. I don't know if you can. Here's the take that I have on marketers. It's a good financial decision if you can sleep at night with not delivering results. I don't know if I could be a marketer myself, because if I don't deliver, if I took $1 from you and I did not deliver and I come back to you, here's the biggest reason why we have so many bad marketers on the rise right now. Couple of years ago, we have couple gurus, on the rise, who have been selling online courses. And a lot of millennials have purchased those courses, and courses were literally teaching. I took one of them with the recommendation of one of the guys in my circles. I purchased Ty Lopez course, the #1 course in marketing space, up to date. I paid $1,500 just to get in and see what the guy was teaching.
That's cheap. That's not expensive at all compared to some
maybe to 2,000, something like that. It was a social SMA, social management, social media. You will not believe what he did. You know why I purchased it? Because one of the person who I hired to do my Instagram at the time, he said that, Dimitri, I know how to do it. I purchased, Ty Lopez course. I'm like, man, I wanted to know what he knows. So I purchased it too. I watched like 20 videos, and you will not believe the teaching. The teaching goes like this. Find a soccer business owner. He did not say soccer, but that's how it feels like, he said. Find a business owner out there who don't know or don't do social media. Go and sell him. You don't need to be knowledgeable. You just go and pitch him this idea, and here's how much you charge. You charge $1,000, $5,000, or $10,000 a month. And when I listen to it, I'm like, oh my gosh, he's building this army of marketers. And now what they do, they outsource a lot of them. Recently, someone called me and shared the story of marketers I work with. And he told me, like, Dimitri, you were paying this guy this amount of money. And I know him because I was working with him, but he was not doing the work. He was outsourcing it to like Philippines and stuff. That's what they do. They charge you $2,500. It costs them $200-$300. They hire someone overseas for $10 an hour to pretend like they're working. Guess what? Those guys most of the time has no knowledge about roofing, no knowledge or very limited knowledge about SEO. They're hardworking guys, but they're working for the pennies and the dollars. And middleman who sold you the package, he lives his Instagram life. He's dreaming about Lambos. He's dreaming about get rich fast scheme. He thinks he's a business owner. He's not business owner. The thing is, we've been creating this life that doesn't exist, that you can live in the Bahamas with your laptop and you can make a lot of money. And a lot of guys have purchased that lifestyle, and they sleep at night. I don't think hardworking man can sleep at night being a marketer. So sounds like being a marketer, a good financial decision. I don't agree with it, because I think karma is a bitch, and sooner or later it will catch up with you. What do you have to add? What kind of education do you have? How did you learn how to work with Google?
Well, here's the deal, though. I'm gonna try to balance things out just a little bit, just to be fair, because Google is not in the business of telling you how to rank there either. Google is not interested in telling you, hey, this is what you do to not pay us. This is what you do to pay us less. So to a degree, all of these courses is a way to figure things out, like to understand, well, how do we not pay Google and still get organic quality leads? Because somebody is there, somebody is getting those. So how can we do that? So that's why you cannot necessarily start with any course, with any practice before you try things out. So in my case, I had to go through courses. I had to take courses, but it wasn't just one. It wasn't two. It wasn't even 5. I purchased probably close to 10 different courses.
Wow.
That added up probably, I don't know, close to maybe $50,000 just of how much I spent on this. And really what it comes down to, your skills are the result of different skills that people share with you, different pieces of information. And when you're able to synthesize them, put them all together, that's where the value is, where you're able to put the little pieces, because nobody wants to necessarily share everything with you. Of course. So you're chasing after little breadcrumbs and then putting them together, practicing, seeing results, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't. And then you clarify for yourself what actually works and what's just fluff. And that's something you start offering as a service. But like I said, the time is coming when digital marketers, they need to change their hats. They need to start offering not just do it for you type of services, but how about I come along and help you? How about I coach you so that if I'm not here tomorrow, you can still be successful.
True.
So that you can survive in not just to 2021, but in 2025. So I think that's essential for any business owner to, first of all, find someone like that, but also then to not just be happy with the immediate results, but think for future and find maybe someone young in your company, invest into that person and train them to be your own digital marketing leader, manager in your company.
Absolutely. We have a question here I would like to answer. Brand new business starting in winter here in Ohio. Advice for novice marketing, new marketing in snow and cold. What advice would you give them?
Advice for novice marketing. What's novice marketing?
It's probably, I don't know.
In the snow and cold, new business. So it's a roofing business?
Yes.
Okay. But they're going to be in snow and cold.
Yep.
Are they going to be doing snow removal? So that's my advice is this. If you're in an area where you have a lot of snow, do it this way, like you did. Go after snow removal and really just niche on that. Focus on that. Give Google everything you've got about snow removal plus your city, because that's going to be the fastest way Google is going to look at you and be like, oh, these guys are professionals. They are specialists. And Google loves that. Google doesn't like generalists. Google is all about, like I said, precision. You show up there, put your listing on the map. Make sure you have those keywords inside that listing. Maybe name your business with those keywords inside, because Google loves that type of stuff. And then also have a website just all about snow removal. And you will beat all of those other websites way faster.
Organically too. Here's what happened to us years ago. We did ice dam removal business, and I built a website, icedamliquidators.com. In February of, I believe, 2015, it was 250,000 searches per month from Boston. That's where we went. We made like $50,000 in 9 days. It was mostly labor. One of the best businesses you can be at. But I remember going there. We received so many calls. We got publicity. Boston Globe put us on the first page of Boston Globe. That's right there. You can still search and you can still find those articles. Huge boost. But in Minnesota, all roofing companies, what he said now, the business, Google loves specialists. Because I was specialist, all the roofing businesses in Minnesota usually have a page or article or service listed, ice dam removal. Guess what? You have ice dam removal business, I have ice dam removal business. But I will spend one night, I'll go to Wix.com, wherever, I'll build me a page.
100%.
I'll build me a page, icedamremoval.com, overnight. And 3 days from now, when we have tons of searches, Google will go in. It's like, who is the expert here? Who can I recommend? Google going to see 3,000 roofing companies offering this. And Google also will see 10 ice dam removal businesses.
Yes.
Guess what? You add it to maps,
yes,
because I'm going to be the closest to them. I'm not going to compete with the ice dam company that's 45 miles from me. I will compete with a 15-mile radius for Google. Just like local McDonald's does not compete with McDonald's 45 miles away. No one is going to go there. They're looking for search nearby.
Yes.
And guess what? In my city, no one's going to be doing ice dams. Guaranteed. I'm going to dominate the market within 10-15-mile radius. By the way, you want it. And guys, you can do the same thing for gutters. You can do it for gutter covers. Wherever you want the most calls, create a business for it.
Yeah.
Your city, gutter covers. That's it. That's your website. It's a DBA. You don't have to run two businesses. You have the strategy. Like, you have this. Look at this face, guys. Now we come to the best part of this life. What the strategy? What are you doing? How you generate phone calls? Let's share it, man. Come on.
Right. Just tell everyone all the secrets. Well, I don't mind sharing secrets, because it's not just about knowledge. It's about actually executing it and being willing to do that. I'll tell you what you just said. This winter we had 3 snowfalls in Spokane, so not a lot. But right before winter hit, I created a listing, and I called it Snow Removal Spokane.
Okay.
Created a website, called it Snow Removal Spokane.
Okay.
And in just 3 times snow fell, we're able to generate $7,000 extra in revenue.
Okay.
It's one way to create extra income, extra stream, because now you're a specialist to Google. You're a legitimate business because you're doing it under your roof. But when the snow hits, people are not searching for roofers. They're looking snow removal Spokane. Well, guess what? My listing is snow removal Spokane. My website is snow removal Spokane. I'm right there.
And how long did it take you to build it?
Oh,
Like
1 week. 1 week. If you do want to spend quality time on the website,
Sure.
you want to write the content. You don't want to shortcut that part. But like, you're right. Just use one of those easy website builders. You don't need WordPress.
But guys, right now, all you have is time in your hands. Like right now, in the winter time, you spend time building that website for 1 week. For the
1 week is the whole process. You can build the website in 2 days.
Sure.
2 days with all of the content.
I built my first website by myself. I use Wix. Served me for a year. I did 900,000 in sales. I've never built a website in my life. I watched a couple of YouTube tutorials. I could not afford a website. Could not afford $1,000 towards a website. Did it myself. I just needed a website to link to all my online portfolios with Angels List and stuff. Austin Brooks explains to us the reason why I said word of mouth is king is because it's free and easy sale because the trust is already built. The problem with that, Austin, is it's so limited. I know so many companies who've been in business 10, 20, 30 years, like long time, and they never pass 1 million. And then I have brand new companies coming into the market. You know, in the first year, they do 2-3 million because they actually spend money and they actually capture new, audience. How many roofs can you do with word of mouth? Like realistically, what are we talking about? 100 roofs a year?
Yeah.
But what would happen to you, to your family, to your business if you can do 200 roofs a year, 300? Word of mouth is great. And it should be part of it. But if you do 100 roofs this year, word of mouth will bring you 10 roofs next year. It's not going to bring you 100 roofs next. It's not like every job is going to get you a job, which means next year you have to go and get another 100 roofs. And now word of mouth from last year gets you another 10. So now you want 10. That's 10% growth rate. So the point is, it's old school. The thing is, the word of mouth was popular 5-10 years ago. We all had it. Now you don't even here's the thing. Guys don't know how to talk to girls anymore at the bars because they're addicted to their phones. They don't know how to start a conversation. We're raising generation of introverts who just all they do is this. We're all brave online, but not in person. So to talk to neighbors,
like those dogs, remember? Have you seen the video? Dogs,
Nope.
They're barking at each other, and the fence goes away, and they're like, oh, just licking each other. Then it closes back, and they're barking.
I did not see that, but that's exactly what's happening. So word of mouth was great, and we think. See, the thing is, we think that our work and quality of our work is everything. It's not everything. If people don't know about you, you don't exist to them, unfortunately.
Yeah. That's true. Word of mouth is ideal, long-term goal, right? But are you willing to spend 10 years just doing little by little and not generating enough of revenue for you to streamline? Now, it might be your strategy. Maybe that's what you want to do. Maybe that's all you want to do. You don't want to streamline. You don't want to grow, but just realize that every year the limit that word of mouth can bring you is lesser and lesser and lesser, because people, no matter how much you tell them personally, they're still going to go online. They'll still going to go and double check. They'll still will dig out information. They'll still find reviews or not find reviews. And then it's like, are you sure they're good? They're nowhere to be found.
Guys, I want to start this debate here. We have pretty strong opinion, and I want to have healthy conversation, no name calling, nothing nasty, nothing mean. But Shane here saying that gutter covers are snake oil, no good products. Every gutter cover slows down the flow of water. Gutters must be maintained and cleaned yearly or bi-yearly. I purchased my house 4 years ago. I have micro mesh. I have huge tall trees, everything you possibly imagine. I have those helicopters. I have everything. For 4 years, I have no problem with my gutters. I guarantee you I would have clogged gutters if I wouldn't have gutter covers. I'm a believer of gutter covers. I don't agree that they don't. There's a lot of products that don't work, but I also have seen major problems with houses that clogs, leaves just get in, clogs completely. I mean, you have plants sticking through and like just nasty situation. So comment below if you agree with the statement that it's a snake oil. I think it can be reasonable offering gutter covers. I think it's a good product. I think it's complements good roofing system. I just don't believe in a snake oil. Now, I do believe there are companies who take advantage of homeowners, like Leaf Filter is one of them, who charges $8,000-$9,000, with a 300-400% profit margins. I don't think it's ethical. I don't think it's right. And it's definitely overpriced. But gutters, for what they are, for the service and purpose for what they intended, they're good. Now, if you install cheap gutters, I agree with Shane. If you're doing disservice to the homeowners, like if you install a sponge product, for example, I mean, you charge them $3 a foot, you think you're saving them money, I think you're doing disservice, because you might as well be cleaning them for $300 per cleanup service. What's your take on gutters?
Oh, gutters are competitive.
They are competitive.
If you're going to go after gutters, go after niches.
Sure. Riches
are in the niches. Okay.
But do you agree with the statement? Do you believe in gutter products? Is a gutter in general? Do we need gutters?
Well, so we're talking to a marketer, but I mean, if there is demand, there needs to be someone who's doing something about it. Demand is king. You cannot beat demand.
And here's the answer. Here's what I have to say in general. Shane, if you're not going to do gutters, if you're not going to do good gutter covers, if you cannot find what works, guess what? Because demand is there, people are going to keep buying cheap products, or they're going to buy it from companies who could take advantage of people by either overcharging for shitty products or installing cheap products. Either options are pretty terrible. So what you can do, you can become a good guy in a shady industry. I agree. There's a truth to a statement that there are definitely a lot of bad players, but you can be a good guy. It's a great opportunity. I learned a long time ago, never say no to a client. If client calls you, say, I want a gutter covers, what are you going to say? No, I don't believe in them. Hire me to clean them. Not really, especially if homeowner is convinced, he's done his research, maybe already have gutter covers there. I mean, how can you say no to the client? Yeah. Maybe they're tired of cleaning their gutters because they have big, leaves and stuff, trees.
Yeah, I think this is a big one. Demand should direct us, should guide us. A lot of times we just come up with ideas on our own, thinking that we're the new Steve Jobs who's going to save the world and our idea is the best. Let's just be honest. You're not Steve Jobs. I'm not Steve Jobs. There is one in hundreds of millions of those. Mm-hmm. Most of the time you have to go after the demand, because that's where the success is. People are looking for a solution. Be the guy who can offer that. They're asking questions. Have the answer. It's much harder to create demand than to answer the demand. People are already asking questions. They're already searching. Be the guy, the best in the industry. Raise that standard to the next level, and then see how other guys follow you.
Love it. Another thing, what I want to say, not only about gutters, but about absolutely any content that you're about to build. Never, ever build a content around your ideas or what you think is cool. Go after search. Search can be questions from your homeowner. Search can be popular search online. As a matter of fact, when I come up with the titles for my videos, I can name the same video, 5 different ways. I always go after what would people search on YouTube. Like, for example, today's video was, how to get online Google reviews. I could give you like 7 tips to get tons of reviews. People never gonna type 7 tips to get online reviews. How to get Google reviews, that's the search for me. People are looking, I would search for it. So always go after search, after demand, study it, ask yourself 5 times. You guys don't know, but even this video today, I have 3 different titles for this video. Roofers versus marketers, how to hire roofer marketer in-house. Like, I have so many ideas because I want to make my title clickable. I want to make title pleasant for you to click on, and also descriptive of my video. So it's not just my idea. I'm curious what you guys think and what really helps you. Always start with the demand, always start with the search, always start with a consumer request, if you will.
I'll go even a step further. If you are thinking about opening a business, don't start with yourself. Don't start with anything. Start with, what are people searching? What are they typing? Guess what? It's going to save you years and maybe thousands of dollars. Maybe it's going to save your life. Mm-hmm. Because the last thing you want to do is to start something that's going to burn in a year or 2 or 3, and you're going to waste all this money and a lot of other things with that. Start with what's there, and even if you don't know what you want to do, even if you don't know what business you want to open, don't start with, well, it sounds nice for me to do gutters. Well, are people searching for gutters where you're at? Are there searches for that? Or maybe it's amazing market for flat roofing right there. Mm-hmm. Or maybe it's commercial roofing is the gold mine right there. Now go with that. You will never miss out, because it's much easier to adjust your product than offer it to someone who doesn't want it.
And it's so true. I've met so many millionaires who pick the smallest, the weirdest niches. Guys, you honestly can. I'll give you an example. Mike Brown, if you have not seen interview with Mike Brown, go to Roofing Insights YouTube channel and watch that interview. One of the best interviews ever. Gutter guy. He sold his gutter company for $1.8 million. He then started gutter cleaning business because in his disclosure with the SBA loan, it would not be competing, so he could do it. He started roof cleaning business, and he said, Dmitry, it's so profitable, guys. You can make $500, $600, $700 a day easy in so many little niches. There's so many services in demand, and with zero competition. Yep. You can come up with a website with a search, and you're going to be the only one. Yep. In this building, we have a company. I always admire them. The name of the business is Screenmatic. They just do screens, enclosure. Mm-hmm. How awesome. Their average ticket is like 50, 60. Like, they're amazing. Big sprinters. When I saw them first time, I'm like, what is Screenmatic? Yeah. What's there with the menu? They have big mosquito. I mean, think about that niche. You guys, you can build business around anything. But if you go after demand, you can dictate your price, dictate your profit margin. You will be just fine. I have this question from Darius here. What about HomeAdvisor? Are you still against it? I'll have you answer it, because I'm tired answering this question. Ooh. We have more investigations coming too.
So
very soon.
You want to throw me under the bus, huh?
No, just honest. You're the show. People asking
investigations, questions. Not into what you're doing.
No, it's okay. We're investigating HomeAdvisor. We have more whistleblowers coming.
Oh, okay. Try it out and see it for yourself. Like, that's really the best I can tell you. Have $200. It's not a lot.
It cost you $380 just to sign up with
just
them.
To sign up. Okay. Yeah. So what you should do is, like Dmitry was telling you many times, it really depends on the location, right? A lot of these things, they can be a total waste of money. But in that specific location, maybe that's what people are typing. Maybe that's where they go for the information. So I would test it. $300 again is not that much. I would say you have $1,000 limit for any platform to try it out. $1,000 is not a lot, especially if your average job can be $10,000 or $20,000. So take $1,000 and spend it one at a time for each platform, and you'll see for yourself. There is no need to spend more than that.
Here's my advice about HomeAdvisor. Record every single phone call with them from the beginning to the end, every promise they made. And if they lie to you, if they mislead you, if they take your money, wherever the case, before you sign up, make sure you record a conversation. And then if someone wants to sign up with them and try them, document your journey, send us your videos after they screw you. I'll publish them. and we'll name it something like Real Home Advisor Review 2021. We'll document your journey. We'll make it public information. And guess what? If you do that, I'll pay for your expenses up to $1,000. So go ahead, sign up, $380, spend your $700, record every single phone call, including your disputes about fake leads they're going to send you, document, good jobs with them that you're going to get, that one job you might get for $1,000, and then we'll make a story out of it. I'm always looking for good content.
Just keep this thing in mind, and it helps me to understand the huge difference between Google and everything else, because it's really like that. It's Google, and then there's everything else. Maybe directory is going to get to that point where it's going to be Google and directory.
Sure.
But for now, it's Google and everything else. And the reason is
2 years, 3 years.
Right. The reason is all of these other platforms, they want to be on Google. They pay Google. Why do they pay Google? Why do they show up in the first even organic results? Why do they spend money on SEO? Well, it's because they know that there's way less people going directly to their website. They will go to Google first. They will go to HomeAdvisor from Google, and then they will find whoever they will find. So now you're talking about multiple steps, multiple jumps. Why not cut out the middleman? Why not cut out the middleman?
I'm going to give you a little bit more information about our next investigation here. So HomeAdvisor buys their leads from third parties. If you go to HomeAdvisor, it might take you a second to find this information, but it's there. It's actually on their website. Google HomeAdvisor affiliation partners. So what they do is they buy their leads. HomeAdvisor leads are not their leads. They buy their leads from third-party websites. That's why so many times, 7 out of 10, when you call them, they don't know who you're calling from, how did you get their number, because homeowners actually goes to random website. It could be nextdoor.com. It could be. So those websites sell HomeAdvisor leads for $5, $10, for literally pennies on the dollars. Let's say for $5 a lead. Now HomeAdvisor resells it to you. What happened next? They sell it to you for $70 if it's roof replacement. You call them. They don't know how you got their number. HomeAdvisor is not responsible for anything. They're not accountable. They don't have a promise to the homeowner. They don't have a promise to the contractor. If you go and violate their house, break something, they're not responsible. Zero responsibility, their accountability, no liability or anything. So they don't promise anything to the homeowner, nothing to you. But they collect money from everyone.
Yep.
They sell homeowners' information to you and 5 of your competitors. I mean, if you want to be in that business, good luck. But they resell the information. And they screw their partners too. I mean, it's very shady place. Yeah. The reason I know it because I'm actually interviewing right now someone who sells leads to HomeAdvisor, and he's pissed because they're not paying his bill. So they're charging you, but they're not paying their bills.
So what I would say to that is, listen, if you know how to play with Google, if you know how to dance with Google, you will not need to go anywhere else.
True.
If you know how to dance with Google, it will be enough for you. You will never go anywhere because, first of all, it doesn't make any sense. Why overpaying someone for lesser quality?
Well, another thing too, Google now actually officially competes with the HomeAdvisor. Over 10 years, HomeAdvisor spent way over $1 billion with Google, but Google figured out that they were not a good partner, and they cut them off. It used to be 90% of HomeAdvisor marketing budget. Now it's less than 20%. Why? Mm-hmm. Did you notice that Google has $2,000 guarantee now? What's Google? How do you call it? What's Google guarantee? That's a Google attempt to compete with HomeAdvisor. So Google was tired of the complaints. Google is not stupid. Google's motto, their slogan used to be "Don't do evil." That's what they used to be. They want to make sure that they're not corrupt and they provide you right information, unless it's election or vaccine related. But overall, Google is not evil, and they're trying to give you the best search. When they figure out that you're not a good player, they're going to try to compete with you or partner up with someone who they can play with. As a matter of fact, if you watch my Thumbtack video, you here in the video me explaining why Thumbtack partnered up with Google. Google actually invested on 2 rounds on the when they were raising capital. How do you call it? Like raising capital. Yeah, Kickstarter. Google invested twice in Thumbtack. So I think what happened behind the scenes, Google realized that HomeAdvisor is a horrible player. They started punishing HomeAdvisor, and HomeAdvisor could not. They increased prices to HomeAdvisor. HomeAdvisor could not adjust. That's why I started seeing HomeAdvisor more on the radio and TV. But Google, at the same time, went back and invested in Thumbtack. Why? Because Google recognized Thumbtack is more honest, more legit player, and Thumbtack is on the rise. That's one platform I would highly recommend to try. If you put your first $1,000 anywhere on the internet right now, I would say give it to Thumbtack. I refer to like it's still not the best. It's not what it used to be. It has its flaws, but you get much better results. Randy says, don't try HomeAdvisor out. You can never escape unless you cancel your card and dispute your charges and move to another country. Probably change your passport, identity, everything. You'll have to be a new person. They still probably will find you. They will follow your employees. They will follow your numbers. I mean, they're insane, guys.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
That was a joke, by the way.
Yep. Just keep in mind this too with Google. Yes, they're better priced, right? Better than anyone. But just remember, they're still for profit. They're still a business. Mm-hmm. They're still there to make money. They're not a charity. They're not a nonprofit. Yes, they provide you free value, but is it really free? Because the amount of money that they generate because of Google Guaranteed and Google Ads is exactly why they're doing what they're doing. And not just that. So it's a good one to start with. Mm-hmm. It's probably the most smart one to generate fast, quick results. But again, don't be stuck there. Don't stop there, because any second things can change. Any second prices can just jump. Any second
diversify.
The new guy can just show up in your town with some money and then you're out. Like, they're not married to you. They're only with you because you're paying them. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So pay to play.
Yeah. Yep. So keep that in mind, that this is a good, quick strategy, but long-term, you have to have organic in mind and look for ways to get there. And that's why we did this course. So that owners can actually take ownership of their digital real estate, because that's what it is.
And this guy is so smooth when he explains. He actually screen recorded everything from how to optimize your Google My Business page. I mean, everything you need to know about Google, how to do it yourself. You have information now in school starting probably. Give me 2 days to edit it, upload it to the school. We're going to have a brand new course, how to do it yourself. We've been an hour here. I'm going to finish reading comments, and we're going to call it out for today. I see Randy says, they also send you bogus leads to houses that are listed for sale and vacant. You send quote to someone out of state and never get work. They charge you for the lead regardless. Mr. Big Time 1986 said, yeah, but you will never get them off your back once you sign up with them. Absolutely. It's hard to cancel.
Yeah.
I will not do business with HomeAdvisor anymore. I'd rather learn how to market my business and generate leads.
If you need a motivation to learn how to do it, go sign up with HomeAdvisor.
HomeAdvisor is a scam. Ken says, just don't do it. Please just put some legwork in. The $1,000 spent with them is far better spent advertising your business independently via Google and Facebook. And again, Facebook and Google will teach you how to do business with them. They want to make sure that you know what you're doing. There's a lot of tutorials directly there. I recommend watch this man's course, but also go try it. Like, if you want, don't ask some guru how to do it. Ask a source. Ask them. Ask Google. Google, what do you want me to do? Facebook, what do you want me to do? And Ken, you're absolutely right. If you spend $1,000 with a direct source, you will have better results. Facts. Enough good references don't even need to pay Google. Again, strongly disagree. Popular opinion, references don't get you as far as they used to be. Even if you're a hustler, even if you're all over the place, modern references are all online. You're only as good as your online presence, as big as your online presence. So you can have this, strategy, if you will, but you're going to be very limited to only towns. I mean, it's great that you have good references, but you're not competitive. It's not scalable. I don't think you'll go far with it.
Diversify your portfolio. Diversify it. It's like investing in stocks. If you are in it, the key is to diversify your portfolio. You never know, unless you are from the future, what will pay. You can invest $120, $200 into Bitcoin, but make sure you're investing into something else that's more stable, that's more predictable, something that's, EV, something that has the future. And diversify it. This way, you won't be surprised when something tanks, and then you won't tank with it either.
Yes. So Shane is asking, are Apple users using Google? Yes. The answer is yes, correct? It's Google that's by default installs the Apple products. Safari is Apple, is Google.
Safari is Apple product, and,
yes.
And Apple comes with its own map. So it's Google you need to download as a separate map.
If you look it up, I think Google pays Apple like $6 billion a year or something to
preload it.
Yeah, to preload it. So the answer is yes. I'm pretty sure.
Because when I type in maps, there is Apple Maps and then there's Google Maps.
Yep. But I'm talking about the search. If you go to Safari search.
Oh, I see.
That's Google.
You can set it up. Yes, that's Google. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. That's Google by default.
Yep. Google is a necessity. Referrals are gold.
What else? Would it be Bing? There is no really options.
What is that? Google is a necessity. Referrals are gold, but you're not competing on Google. You're just leaving money on the table. With organic, pay for ads for 6 months, then will be good for organic. I mean, what's your take on that? How much pay for ads helps with organic? I don't agree with it, Carl. I think you still have to invest heavily. Like, you have to do both. You have to invest in organic and paid traffic. They're kind of like one fuel in others. I mean, if you bring traffic, paid traffic, it only will help you organic. But if your strategy not to do anything with organic, and now you bring some ads, you're going to turn it off. Nothing going to happen. You're going to lose it.
No, that's a misconception. It's much harder to rank than this. You paying Google and Google getting you to the front doesn't even necessarily make sense. Why would Google not take money from you and move you to the front? Mm-hmm. If they can keep taking the money from you anyway, right? So they're not going to reward you by losing their profit. So that doesn't work. Yes, you're going to get traffic, but so what? Traffic is a very it's not the same everywhere. Mm-hmm. Organic traffic, yes, but for you to get organic traffic, you have to earn a certain spot. You have to earn the trust with Google, and when you do that. That's the sweet spot, because Google starts trusting you, and that's where Google's oldest algorithms kick in. Something that the whole Google is built upon. Something that they will never be able to just switch all of a sudden and turn off, because that's everything. Mm-hmm. That's all there is. That's a foundation of who Google is. Now, yes, they can do updates. Now, yes, they can do tweaks. They can do changes, little here, little there. This update. But it's only designed to catch those spammy websites, spammy techniques. If you've done it the right way, it's there. It's for good. There's only a way up, unless, of course, your competition outperforms you. So that's why you never stop. You always build links. And listen, this course teaches you how to do that. I show you how to build links.
Love it. Guys, I would like to finish on this note. You see a lot of logos behind me. Here's one thing about Roofing Insights as a community, Roofing Insights as a media company, as a hub that connects roofers with the resources. One thing that you have, I want you to use Roofing Insights as a tool. Over the years, I've recommended quite a few marketers, and when I make a recommendation and you guys have a problem with the business, like, for example, just recently I was involved in a major dispute where it took contractor about 6 months to get his money back. He paid $6,500 to a company that I recommend, and the company was not responsive, was not answering phone calls. Eventually, they gave him the money back because we have leverage in business now. No, like we don't like to call out businesses. You guys think we like the drama and stuff. We don't. We want to recommend you the best resource. And if we recommend someone, like for example, if I recommend this guy, Hook Agency, Elizabeth Business 411, if I recommend any of my vendors, if I recommend you, Job Nimbus CRM, and you have problem with Job Nimbus CRM, you complain to me, I deal with it. I always investigate. My team always trying to get down to the basics of your complaint and answer a question. Who is reasonable? Is it you picky, or is the provider not reasonable? So I highly recommend reach out to us if you need a recommendation. We rarely, we never take money from companies. Like we don't have a lot of affiliation links, especially for marketers. So if I recommend you good Facebook guy, like Adam Sant, Elizabeth Business 411, if we make a recommendation, we will also stand by the recommendation, and also we will do the best we can to assist you with any dispute, because I feel like if I recommend someone, I'm liable for the results. We cannot guarantee results, but we will hear your feedback, and I want to hear your feedback. So if I ever recommend you someone bad, not trustworthy, or someone shady, I want to know about it, because there's quite a few players right now, and we see them in our communities who go behind our backs, using our name, using our groups, secretly message roofers in our community, pitching you, high ticket items, and we don't even know about it. So if someone's screwing you, we want to know about it. We want to get involved, and that's the leverage that you have with us in this business. And if someone did screw you over, we'll do another scam alert video. Share the story. We'll invite you here, and you'll tell the world how horrible they are, because bleeding at one point have to stop. We have to stop this, get rich fast, millennial type of business mentality that someone can work less, get paid more because they provide value. You don't provide value if you don't have results. Stop saying that. So we're going to keep calling out marketers. We're going to keep highlight the good guys. Dima is definitely one of the better guys. If you guys in a school, you're here for a treat, in a couple of days, you'll have a full new course, how to do it yourself. Keep commenting on this thread. We'll keep answering questions for the rest of the day. Good luck out there. Thank you.
See you guys. Thank you.